So I figured I would demo each of the braids on her hair first, just to show you how each of the movements go. And then I admit to you all that I'm extremely lazy and impatient with my own hair, but I can do a French braid on my hair if I'm very patient. So I figured at the end we could do that, and I can show you how to actually do it on yourself, because it is a hell of a lot more challenging to do it on yourself than on someone else. So let's start, first of all, with the French braid, which I'll just pull it up on that ad that we all saw. One that we're going to do first is the French braid, the one in the middle, where all of the pieces of hair like tuck in to themselves. Okay, so I'll just show you, we'll attach it to her head actually. I'm going to start at the top of the head with a horizontal piece of hair, and we're going to divide it into 3 sections. So it's important to brush the hair through as you go along so it doesn't end up lumpy. So we're going to split it into 3 even sections here. Perfect. And we're going to go over the top. So the right piece is going to go over the top of the middle piece, and the middle piece is going to become the right piece. Now our outside piece on the opposite side is going to come over the top of the middle piece, and that's now the middle piece. The right side over the top of the middle piece, and it becomes the middle piece. So your outside piece basically always goes over the top of the center piece, and it becomes the middle piece. Okay, so to attach it to the hair, we do the exact same thing, but we're taking it from the sides. We're taking it from the scalp rather than the pieces of hair in our hands. So I'll just show you again here, and this time we'll attach it to the head. So we got our 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, even size pieces. That's going to give you an even braid. And we're taking our right piece here, popping it over the top of the middle piece, and that is becoming the centerpiece now. And the piece on the left is going to come over the top of the middle piece, and that's going to become our centerpiece now. Now that we want to attach it to the head, we're actually going to take some of the hair from the head and have that join our outside piece. So I've now got one big chunk, middle chunk, and then the left chunk. And now our giant chunk is going to come over the top and become the middle piece. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. We're taking hair actually from the head now, and the hair that we've just taken from the head is going to join with our outside piece. So we've got a bigger outside piece now, and it's going to come over the top of the middle piece, and it's going to become the middle piece. Okay, taking hair from the outside of the head, and that extra hair is now going to join with the big giant chunk we've got here. That's going to go over the top of the middle piece, and it's going to become our middle piece. That's now our middle piece right there. Taking hair from the head, having it join our left piece. Our left piece is now coming over the top of the middle one, and it's becoming our middle piece. And you just keep going. Easier said than done. As you work your way down the head, you'll find, if you're trying to do this in one big ponytail, you'll find that it gets kind of like loose around the edges. So you actually have to make sure to brush it in tight. So now I've got my big giant piece that I've just kind of brushed in nice and tight, and that's coming over the top of the middle piece, and it's going to become our middle piece here. Okay. And it is just repetition, and it will ache your arms, but when you get good, you'll get faster. So we've taken hair from the outside, it's now joining this, it's going over the top of the middle piece, and it's becoming the middle piece. So this is probably the easiest one, and the one that everybody knows the most. I'll show you the Dutch version, which is exactly the same, but it's in reverse. So with French, the hair actually tucks inside, and with Dutch, the braid actually sits on the top. So it's a little bit more of a, to me, it looks a little bit more like kiddie. So I find this one is good for like me, 30 plus. And so as you travel down the head. So now I'm getting to about here. I've got hair in the front. I'm just gonna grab that hair from the front. And again, you've kind of got to like brush it in really tight. And it's exactly the same again, taking your outside piece from the right, it goes over the top of your middle piece. And then that now becomes your middle piece. And when you get, if you have really thick hair, it just becomes a matter of how can I keep this much hair in my hands without it all falling out. So it's like figuring out how to position your hands. So it's basically, I just use my hands like a little claw, and my fingers are kind of like the separator pieces. So I've got my little claws here, separating my pieces over the top of the middle one and right to the other side. There was supposed to be one more person in here, but I don't know what happened to them, so they'll have to watch the replay. I always record the sessions, you guys.
Oh, so we get to see the replay if we didn't get this right.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'll send it to you because you're going to have to sit there for ages just trying to figure this out. It's very frustrating to do on yourself.
Oh, good.
Over the top of the middle and to the other side. We're taking more hair here. Now, my Judy head doesn't have ears, so the hair tends to hold floppy here, but with us, we have ears, so it actually will hold the hair back like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got tons of hair here. It's going over the top and to the other side. And eventually, you'll just have took all the hair from the scalp, and you'll just braid it, as I showed you in the first place, not taking hair from the scalp.
Right.
So now I've got to the point where I've collected all my hair, and I literally just, now I've got my 3 pieces. My right piece can go over the top of my middle piece, my left piece over the top of the middle piece, and you just keep going. Do either of you know how to do any kind of braid right now, just like a regular braid?
I think I do that one, but I do it the backwards way. I think I go underneath.
Yeah.
Is how I usually.
It's like once you know one particular braid, it's really hard to learn another kind. I find talking to myself, it literally helps. So I'll just go right piece over the top into the middle, left piece over the top into the middle. And I just talk to myself. And as a professional doing this for 12 years, I literally just talk to myself. And if someone speaks to me while I'm doing this, I lose it and I have to start again. Okay, I'll show you the other way around, which, Jana, I think this is the one that you already know. Okay, let's do Dutch, which is the exact same. We've got the 3 pieces, 1 piece going over the top and to the other. But we're going to go underneath this time. Rather than the pieces going on top, we're going to go underneath this time. Okay, so we're going to do the one on the right side now. Okay, so same thing again. We're starting at the top. We're using a horizontal piece. Brush it through, get it nice and tight in your hands. And again, we're going to do the 3 pieces all the same size. And this time, rather than last time, our right piece was going over the top. This time, it's going to go underneath the middle piece and become the middle. Okay, so I've just took that right piece and I just tucked it underneath the middle piece, and it's now inside here. And again, I kind of use my hands like a little claw. It's like my little separators. Okay, so I'm taking hair from the head and I'm having it join my left piece, and my left piece is now going to go underneath. So now my left piece has gone into the middle now. Okay, taking hair from the head and first of all just collecting it with that piece on the right and having that go underneath and into the middle. It's tough. But I would just say it aches your arms, but I would just say if you take your time to do each piece, it will end up nicer in the end. So I've just joined my extra hair. It's into the other side here now, and it's going underneath, and it's becoming my middle piece. And honestly, I don't know if you guys have anyone in isolation with you that has long hair or happen to have a Barbie doll, but practicing on somebody else first just kind of helps you get the rhythm.
Yeah. Okay,
so I've got the hair from the head joining my outside piece, and then that is going underneath, and it's becoming my middle piece now. Taking hair from the outside, smoothing it in, take the time to smooth it in and get it nice and tight. That way it will not be lumpy. And now this chunk here is going underneath and it's becoming my middle piece there.
Wow.
Just like that, you know. But I honestly, like, it would probably take me a while to do this on myself, just because I think it really does require patience. So if you're a patient person, you can braid.
Yeah, definitely the underneath one I find a little bit more challenging. I think the over top one seems a little bit better.
Yeah, just
absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree. The over top feels more natural, whereas the
yeah. At first I kind of was like, oh, maybe it's not, but then it's like, nope.
I totally agree. Like the one that I did before this feels more natural.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Totally agree. And that's the one, like, I can do that one on my head fairly easily, but yeah, it's definitely, you got to change the positioning of your hands, and figuring out the positioning of your hands is the hardest part. So I'll just show you what this one looks like. And then fishtail braid is definitely one that's become extremely popular over the last number of years. So it's fun just to know how to do it. And then I'll do it on my own head and show you guys some pointers of how you can hold your hands and whatnot.
Okay.
Okay, so that one's our more like caterpillar looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I like that one because it does look really cool, but to me it looks more like something that you'd maybe see on like a little girl or something. You can do fun things, like if you have long hair and you've just decided to do this, let's say you go into a special occasion and you need to make something look fancy. We're talking about in the future here, when we have an occasion to go to. But you can do things like take your braid,
cute,
and just pop a hair tie over the top, and you've now got yourself a really cool updo. You know, so it's actually really easy to transform a simple braid into something that could be worn. Just pop a hair tie over the top and it will hold that right there. So neat little trick if we end up going to any balls in the future, you know, go to a fancy do. Okay, let's do the fishtail braid. See, where did I put my brush? Oh, here it is, on the floor, of course. Where else would it be? Okay, so fishtail braid is actually really, really easy, but it looks really intricate and really complicated, and it's very modern and fun. So this one actually just begins with 2 pieces, but it's gonna kind of be 2 and it's gonna kind of be 4. I'll just show you by itself first what it does. So we're dividing it into 2 pieces, taking a tiny, tiny little piece on the outside, and that's gonna go over the top and become a part of the right side. Just taking a tiny, tiny little piece, it goes over the top and it just joins the left side. Now, if you want to attach it to the head, you do the same thing, but rather than taking from the 2 pieces in your hands, you just take from the head. And this time you don't need to worry about having it join a piece. It literally just, you take that tiny little piece from the head, you pass it through the middle of your 2 big pieces, and it joins the other side. And to begin with, it doesn't really look like much, but as it comes together, it will form a really cool braid. So just tiny, tiny little piece goes over the top and joins the other side. Tiny little piece over the top, and it joins the other side. Tiny little piece over the top, and it joins the other side. And this one, it is a little bit more tedious because it does take quite a long time for it to form. But yeah, it's a really cool hairstyle, and it's very modern. Tiny, tiny little piece. I've got my 2 pieces, and I'm kind of using my fingers just as like little clamps almost. Take that little piece over the top, through the middle, and it joins the other side. Tiny little piece over the top, the other side. And so demoing on myself is going to be quite hilarious because normally I have nail extensions, and nail extensions kind of act like a little comb for me, but my nails look like this.
Oh no.
So it's yeah, it's going to be different because I usually use that as a comb.
Wait a second, you have nails on one side and not on the other?
I have 3 left, 2 missing, and on the other hand I have 1 and the rest are missing.
Oh.
They're those gel ones that you can't just get off. They normally have to.
Oh yeah, that's bad news. Yeah.
I'm not getting them done again, I swear. No, that's it again for me. Little one over the top to the other side, another little tiny little piece over the top. And as you can see, this one takes quite some time for me to get to the bottom. It's going to take a little bit of time here. But I'll just start to speed it up a little bit just so I don't bore you guys too much with this because it's very repetitive.
It's beautiful, but I don't think when you made it sound like it was really easy, I actually feel like it's the hardest of all.
You feel like that's hard? Because it's
Yeah.
actually just 2 pieces. And
Right.
just a tiny little piece that you're literally just passing it from side to side. So
Right.
I actually think that the hand motion is quite a lot easier, but doing it on yourself to identify a small piece in your hand, that's difficult.
Right. Okay.
Whereas with the other one, it's just they're even pieces. If they're slightly uneven,
That's right.
it doesn't really matter. And I would definitely just say one thing to note, the direction that your hands are in is the direction that the braid will naturally go. So if you have a tendency to like lean to one side or something, your braid's going to end up diagonal. So also keeping your hands straight is a bit of a challenge too.
Mm-hmm.
Braiding your own hair is not easy.
No.
Honestly, really challenging. All right, so I'll go a little faster just to show you guys what this one looks like at the end. And of course, you don't have to braid the whole head of hair. Like if you just wanted to braid the top bit, you know, and then just continue on with, you know, I could stop right here and I want to have the rest of my hair down, and I could just continue on a little bit. And with something like this, if you get bored, you just tie it off and it looks cool. But yeah, you just, if you want to leave some of the hair down and attach it to the head, you take from the head here, and then I've got to the bit where I want the rest of my hair down here. So now I'm just taking little pieces from the outside of this piece that's actually in my hands and passing it through to the other side. So that's a really pretty hairstyle too, because sometimes like the top of your hair is a little bit greasy and you don't have time to wash it, but it's like day 3 and the rest of your hair looks fine. Or maybe you're going to a special event. So I'll just keep going a little bit further with this. And then we'll have a little bit of a giggle trying to do it on ourselves.
Okay.
I think we're both trying as you do this.
It's like
my arms are sore.
I know, and that is exactly
2 minutes later.
Yeah, totally. It's like an arm workout. You don't need to go to the gym, don't need to lift weights, just braid your hair every day.
Yes.
So, you know, you can keep going and then you end up having this really cool braid. And also like with the fishtail braid, sometimes because it is so tedious, if you get bored part way through and you just want to finish it off, you can actually just then separate this into 3 pieces here and finish it off like a normal braid, like a 3-strand braid. You can just, you know, not wanting to spend an hour on my hair today, but I want it to look cool. So switch the type of braid part way through. But that's a little advanced, but sometimes I get bored, so I do that. And to tie it off, I'll just show you guys to tie it off, and then we'll practice on ourselves. So you can get these little bands from even like the dollar store, super cheap, see-through or in a color. Those are totally fine to use. And, you know, for like yourself every day, who cares if the hair tie is showing? In my world, you can't have the hair ties showing. So I'll just show you a fun little trick just to show you a little ooh-ah type moment. You can take the top of the band, pop your thumb on the inside there, take a little piece of the hair and wrap it around, wrap it around, wrap it around, and then pull that little piece through the rubber band. Whoop. And it just like naturally hides it like that.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah.
That is cool.
Like, if you just want to be like, you know, that little bit of extra, you know, we do that. Okay, let's try on ourselves now. Okay, this this is one I did earlier. This is how much effort I made earlier. It's like, it's hard doing it on yourself. And I honestly, like, I'm very happy to style other people's hair for hours and hours on end, but styling my hair, your arms get achy and you get kind of bored. But cool thing about braiding too, if you braided it like this while it was a little bit damp, you could wear it like that for a day and then take it out the next day and your hair will be beautiful and wavy. So there's also other advantages to this too. So obviously brush through your hair first. We don't want any knots. No knots. No knots. And basically what you want to do, if we're doing the whole of the head, let's say it's all going to go back, we are going to start here and we're going to just section off a piece of hair like that. It doesn't matter if it's neat, it's all going to be hidden. Get it into the 3 sections here, and we'll do the French braid because it is the easiest to learn. If you can get the rhythm of this, then you can move on to trying another one, but I feel like getting this one first is the most important. So we've got our 3 pieces, and we're going to go right piece over the top of the middle piece and joins the other side. Take hair from the left piece and goes over the top of the middle piece, joins the other side, right piece over the top and to the other side. And you're kind of like brushing it up like that, combing it, joining the right piece, and then have that right piece go over the top and taking care from the left. You should now have your left piece free. So my left piece is kind of like here, and I've got the other 2 in my hands here. It's hard to tell. And it's going to go over the top, and it's joining the middle there. I'm like, I don't know which angle to get at to show you. Okay, taking another little piece here. And I would say smaller pieces are easier to handle in your hands. But you see how we don't want it to get floppy, so we really want to make sure that we're actually brushing that piece of hair to join the other piece. So now I've got my right piece, my 2 pieces are in my hands. It's going to go over the top, joining the other side. Take a piece of hair here. And can you see?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like it's tough to see, so it is a lot of guesswork and just like feeling it out, I guess. But and then you just get to the point where you just finish it off.
Nice.
And yeah, I honestly don't normally do this to my hair, but this is the best that I can probably do without having to practice 1,000 times. When it gets to the point where you can't reach anymore, just pull the hair to the side here and just unravel it a little bit to see where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And then finish it off.
Oh, smart.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that.
Okay.
When your hair is a little bit longer like that, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah, like, I mean, like, I have this like ridiculous like kiddie looking hair tie. You can be a little.
Oh, there are my hair ties.
You can be a little child like that, or you can do what
cute.
I showed you earlier. So yeah, I have no idea what that looks like back there, but there you go on me. It is possible. It's just, yeah, practice makes perfect, and then we'll look like Lara Croft.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you can totally pull out some like little loose pieces here if it's looking all lumpy. Just, you know, like tweak it a little bit by just kind of like picking at it and making, like, that's the thing, the hairstyles these days, they're supposed to be not perfect, so you just
good to know.
That's good.
That's my type of hairstyle.
And then yeah, if you were doing that bun, you literally just wrap it around and then pop a little hair tie over the top, and you've got yourself a little bun in the back. You've got yourself a special occasion do. Well, there you have it. I challenge you guys to give it a go with one of the other types of braid, either the fishtail or the Dutch. I'll send you the replay so you can see the hand motions, and I challenge you. Let me know if you managed to achieve it, and I will do the same thing.
Excellent. Thanks, Faye.
Thank you so much. This was
It was
fun.
awesome.
Thank you so much for tuning in with me and having fun with braids.